Hi, so after quite a lot of development work on this thing, we're going to push the GameScope Launcher thing out into the public so you can use it. So I want to say huge thanks to people who became members and supported me because I had to buy a laptop to get this to work properly. So that's sort of just about paid off. But anyway, yeah, so what this is, and I'll take you through it, and you've seen multiple videos about it, and this is the final production version. It's basically, for Omarchy, it's a full installation of Steam and all the bits you need, Vulkan, and also installs Proton GE. And then basically you log into Steam, and then when you press Super Shift S, which is the name of the thing, it launches Steam, it shuts down Hyprland, and then launches Steam in a GameScope session. So you're basically isolated. That's all that's running. And then when you press Super Shift R, that shuts that down and brings you back to the desktop. So you get all the benefits of being able to play, Steam games in GameScope. Very much like deck mode, or Bazite has this, but in Bazite you have to launch into that mode, and then I think in Catch's version as well, you can switch between the two, which is the same as this, but it's just done off with key bindings. There's lots of research gone into this. It was really problematic getting laptops to work. I've just added a piece of code, and this might be the one that sinks the boat if someone tries this. APUs, because it gets really confused detecting a laptop with an iGPU and a discrete graphics card. Now, it should work though. One thing I will say, it doesn't work on anything to do with Intel. So if you've got Intel discrete, or you've got a Battlemage card, A card or a B card, it won't work. There is a version I did write for that, which I'll probably release separately. But it's a bit. You basically have to end up downloading Mesa Git something rather. It's quite involved, but it works. But it's quite involved, and for this you don't need any of that. So for AMD and Nvidia, you're golden. The only restriction, and this is an Nvidia thing, is you cannot go above 2560 by 1440p on Nvidia because it just explodes in GameScope. There's something weird that goes on, so you're locked at that resolution. Now on AMD, you're fine. Everything works. It's all, obviously it's Steam, isn't it? So it's all geared towards AMD. So we'll just go through the install and then show you how to do it. Launch it, log in, and I won't benchmark anything. I just show you a few games running and show how simple it is to move around it. There are a few additions that I'll post in the coming weeks, which is you can put Decky Loader on this. I did a script as well for GeForce Now to go in there, but I'll just roll this out publicly. Eventually, when I get a chance, probably next week, I'll push this up onto Git. So if you want to pick it to pieces and do what you want with it, please feel free. It would be great if it became a package for Omarchy for an install, because it's sort of, when I watch people struggling with Omarchy, they're having, the SDL, all these bits are missing. There's certain things they're trying to launch GameScope for the desktop, and that. I mean, this originally started, if anybody's been following along, as a TUI on the desktop that allowed you to jump into GameScope. But that was like a layer on a layer on a layer, and that caused issues with mice. Oh, it was a nightmare. So removing everything else and giving a pure Steam Deck experience, everything's better. Anyway, with that ramble done, let's dive in. Okay, so here we are on the desktop. This theme is called Space Monkey, and it's got some other interesting. We can go with that one. Bit Art Raiders, happy with that. So let's get this. Now that you download the script, and then basically we need to launch Terminal and Files, and I've put it in the Downloads folder. So there it is, Super Shift S release. So let's do CHMOD plus X. Drag that over. Return. I'm using Kitty. Thank you for the person that pointed out I should be using Kitty for my drag and drop terminal. And then password. So, okay, first of all, does a full update. It's detected I've got an NVIDIA GPU. It's detected I've got an AMD one as well, because there's an AMD one on the thing, but it's going for the NVIDIA one. And then it's pulling down the packages. So this is Vulkan, and these are all the bits you need for the games. And then the next part again, more bits and bobs. Pulls it all down. Let it install. And so we're going to install GameScope, MangoHud. MangoHud is what's used for the overlay. I'll show you that. And Proton GE. Just basically, if you switch everything to Proton GE compatible, you've got a really good chance it'll work well. I think that's probably the way to do it. Some AUR packages, which is Proton GE. The early versions of this installed Wine and Proton Tricks. You just don't need them. It's not part of what, I was reaching a bit beyond here. I was thinking of, I could do Lutris. But no, I've just stuck with this and it works. So basically, yeah, that's what we're doing. Now, the beauty of this is it puts Proton GE into your standard update. So every time you update your system, Proton GE gets updated, and it's also folded into Steam directly. So there's none of these weird things we have to select a game. I mean, you do have to select Proton GE, but you don't have to do it externally from Steam. Okay. Purging unproducible Ruby files. Checking package issues. You can see it down in the bottom left-hand corner. Okay, now it's done. Okay, so now you have to add some permissions. And this is a big one. On NVIDIA, you'll have to do this. You have to add NVIDIA DRM mod set equals 1. That's a command line thing. Now, it'll mean you have to reboot after you do this before you do anything else. Install packages, yes. Host bits, yeah. Password performance, yes. Shader cache, yes. Capsys, nice, yes. Session switching, yes. And this is how it all works. Basically, it's based off a Chimera backend, which is like, if you looked at Chimera OS, it's sort of like a Steam variant. Really good project, that. Much better than using the default Steam backends. So now it does a few tests, make sure everything works. And it's all done. Now it's going to ask me to reboot. And it should just all reboot. There we go. And that's that bit done. So it'll come back up. We'll come back into the launcher. I'll launch Steam, and then we'll just jump into some games, and I'll just show you it working. I'll get it configured, because you need to go through. Actually, I might do that. I might just show you how to configure a game. But I'll do the Steam part. Here we go. Oh. All right. Here we are. So first thing you need to do this. Don't jump into it. Steam. Run Steam to get your login. Otherwise, and it'll do this, you have to wait. Otherwise, if you try and do it in the games launcher, it throws a bit of a wobbly. Now, one of the big things is I keep all my games on an external drive, and basically, because obviously, if you, like me, flatten operating systems all the time and change things, you don't want to keep downloading the games. So I highly recommend like a USB 4 drive, and then basically, when it launches Gamescope, it scans external drives, and if the program sees a external Steam library, it just attaches it for you. So you don't need to go in and attach it. I've noticed this. If you've got your games on an external drive and you launch the desktop version, you have to go in and it doesn't remember, but this does. So if it's there, you don't have to do anything. It just launches straight in and it's got your games on it. Come on, this should come through. Sorry about my deeper throat than normal. I've got a bit of a throat thing going on, a bit croaky. Here we go. Come on, it'll do it. Let's get my phone ready with the intro thing. There we go. It's doing it. There. And so I'll just scan myself in, and it wakes up. We go. That's it. And we're in. So there's just a couple of things I advise you do at the beginning. Let's take a bit of time. Now, if it runs on Steam Deck or Steam, it's going to run on this. So I don't know, if there's particular games that you've had issues with. Everything basically runs. If it runs on Steam Deck, it will run on this. So Steam, go to settings, compatibility. Let's do that in a sec. Downloads, just switch off pre-shader cache, compatibility, and then put everything to Proton GE. But I always double up with this because it doesn't always remember this. So there we go. Let it restart. In its own sweet time. Okay, now that's done, so you shut it, you exit it, don't minimize, exit, and it will shut down. So to launch the games launcher, it's Super Shift S. You should get a notification at the top there, and it will jump into Steam Deck or GameScope mode. No signal. See, my capture card comes with knows the channel branding. Up it comes. He says. Here we go. There's that logo. Now, it's my monitor. It may not happen to you, but my monitor pretends to be HDR. It's not. So it informs my NVIDIA card that it's HDR, and it isn't. So I have to go in. Not everybody gets this. Steam settings, display. Now, if you just click that off, you can see, because I'm in NVIDIA, I'm locked at 256 by 1440. It won't go out. If you do, it starts to break the screen up. Don't know, NVIDIA issue. So down here, I want to enable HDR, disable HDR. Bit of a blip there on the screen. Right. And then for my maximum game resolution, I'm going to put it to that. So everything's all set up. Now, just to get set up to do your games. Now, one of the things people forget to do, because you're in GameScope mode, it's limited to 60 frames a second. So Control 2 brings up your side menu. Click on that one. And then I'm going to put an overlay on. There you go. The performance overlay. And then advanced. You want to come down here and disable frame rate limit. If you don't do that, your games will cap out at 60 frames per second. I mean, they will on my machine because it's 60 hertz monitor. But like, well, no, it's not so much 60 hertz, but it will basically limit the frame rate, which you don't want. Even though my monitor is 60 hertz, it limits the games to 60 frames per second, even though they can go faster. Anyway, so, and that's that. So I'm all set up, ready to go. So to come out of this, you go Super Shift R. Don't exit to the desktop. You can, it does work, but that's the best way out. Super Shift S in, Super Shift R comes out. Is it going to come back? All right, there you go. So what I'm going to do, I'll come back in a second and I'll just run a couple of games and you can see them playing. It won't, I won't do benchmarks. I mean, I think I benchmark these machines far more than they need. So bear with me, be back in a second. Here we have a bit of Doom. I've got the overlay up at the top left-hand corner there, if you can see it. I've got this on ultra everything, no frame gen, no ray tracing, and ultra nightmare for everything else. Oh, press start. Let's just see how it plays. Cutscene, get rid of that. Okay. And I'm in the woods. Let's just see, what are we doing frame rate wise? Just about 50, 60 something. I mean, that's totally playable though, isn't it, eh? Not like I'm missing out on anything with her. Oh, I haven't played this for ages. Here we go. There we go. I mean, it's doing its thing, isn't it? Did enjoy this. I can't remember what key is it to throw that. There it is. Ah. It's just mayhem. Oh, bad dudes. That's what we want to do. And what happened? There was a lot of explosions. But yeah, so you can see that's sort of tip top, isn't it? It works really well. Anyway, let's come out of that. Exit to desktop. And I mean, obviously I can lower down the settings a little bit on that. And let's just try another one. Let's jump into Returnal. Okay, so here we are in Returnal. I've got this on 1440p Alt Epic settings. DLSS is on, and you can see the frame rate at the top there. It's good, doing a good 60. Overgrown ruins. Oh, that doesn't look good, does it? Great game, this. It's just too hard for me. It's one of those things. Here we go, bad guys. Bad guys. Shoot that. Oh, there's one. There's that dude there. Get that dude there. There's another one. There's 3 of them. That's not fair. That's not what I signed up for. Get these guys. That one. Oh, got them all. Well done, me. Get the sparkly bits. Oh, you can't. How do you go up there? There we go. And whatever that is, I got that. There's another thing here somewhere. The thing about this is it changes all the time. It's sort of, it was really fascinating to play because every time you go back to the level, it's not the same. It can be a bit frustrating. And you have to go back to certain save points. It's just a very different way of playing a game that I wasn't used to. Ah, I've got the key. That's what I need that key for. Let's just go through that lock. Investigate the signal source. Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. Insert key. Plays really well. There we go. Oh, what's going on down there then? Do I have to do one of those jumps, don't I? No. Oh, no. All right. Okay, made it. Not quite how I wanted to make it. What's down there? There's a whole other bit here. What down there? No. Okay. I'm going to leave it on that. Let's try have a look at something else. Okay, so we're going to quick blitz on Arc Raiders, a game I've been spending far too much time on. And we're going to the Blue Gates. And I've got a free loadout, if you know what that means. So we just have a quick look at this. I mean, this plays really well on this system. I've got it set to sort of like quite high settings. DLSS is on. I've got frame gen switched on as well with this, and yeah, and it just works really well when it manages to load in. In your own time. This is my Wi-Fi doing this, not the game. It'll just sort of sits there. There we go, and then it'll just hooks up. I think this is part of getting the server. Should be about 80 frames per second on this normally. Here we go. Now, what weapon have I got? Free loadout. So it's all, oh my god, but that's the worst gun on the planet. That is the worst. Is there anything in here? So it sort of builds in. Here we go, and we're in. Just have a quick look around if there's anything else in there. I need an industrial battery. If you see that, if I manage to get that, I'll take that. I'll take that. Don't need any wires. Anything else in here? Just have a look in there. Nope. Have a look in there. I mean, it may sound hugely repetitive looking in drawers, but there's a strange... I mean, anybody who plays a looter shooter knows what I'm talking about here. There's a strange thing about finding exactly what else we got. Here we go. 2 more drawers. Nothing. Nothing. There's the last one. Any chance of a industrial battery that I can go? I can expel? Right, no, none of that rubbish. I can't get to that, don't have the key. And there's the ladder up. It's quite long on this. So yeah, you can see, well, it's 100 frames per second. It's just chugging along. It's perfect for this. Let's get you outside, and then I'll come back in a second. That's too close to the extraction point, and I don't want to talk to those guys. Let's get out of there. There's a lot of those things around. going to run out of I'm going to run out of power. Anyway, I'll come back in a minute when I finish this round. So just jump back into this. I just don't have very much ammunition or anything like that, or I've got a really bad gun, and I bumped into a bombardier, if you know one of those. It's not great, surrounded by a flock of like wasps and hornets or whatever they're called. But I made it out, and I'm just about to go to extract. I've only been in the game about 10 minutes. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, the game's launcher works really well. Let me just do the extraction, and then I'll come back and talk to you. I just got to get out here. There we go. There we go. And we're in. And we're there. And that's it. Whoa. Great game. It's a really good game, that I have to say. I'm really enjoying that. And what we get? Best words ever. Anyway, okay, enough of that. Let me just jump over to me. So there you go. That's the full games launcher working. I've done, Arc Raiders, bit of Doom, Returnal, but pretty much anything that's in the Steam library should play. I mean, even the old games like Quake, not Quake, the original Doom, Half-Life, even Black Mesa. I can't find any. I mean, I've had, what else has worked on there? Night Rain, all these kind of stuff. They all should work without having to do any fiddling. And obviously, because you're in Gamescope, you've got, the maximum sort of control over the game you can, really. You're outside, you don't have to rely on the desktop compositor or anything like that. So there you go. So I just want to say one last huge thank you to all the people who became members, supported me, helped me got the laptop for this, to do this, and have fun with it. As I said, there's some other little plugins. You can put Decky Loader on it. There's a GeForce plugin I've got for it, and bits like that. I mean, but I think that's pretty much it for this. It's me sorted for my gaming on Omarchy, and hopefully it can help you out as well. Anyway, that's over. Thanks for watching.